but massive props to Crawford. Domination. And that's what it was, wasn't it? It was domination. And he looked comfortable at 168 pounds. He's a superstar, isn't he? He's a superstar. And obviously he's still got, from my knowledge anyway, he's got still 2 more fights contracted with His Excellency. I could still fight Canelo. I still could fight him. I don't know if he'd fight as soon as February though. Not that it's that soon, but I think coming off a loss, it might be a bit soon. Yeah. But I just like a shot at the titles, to be honest with you, bro.
Yeah.
No matter who's got him. Like Crawford's got him at the minute. If he stays at the weight, then I'll fight him. But if he vacates, then I'm mandatory for the WBC. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, I just want to crack up my titles.
As long as he's been on top, is way before the Usyks and the Inoues came around. I think he was on top when it was Canelo's and then Andre Ward's and Lomachenko's. So during that time, he was in that era, and they still was debating, was he number 1? And now he's in a whole different era with Usyk and Inoue, where they still debating whether Bud Crawford is number 1. So for him to be this far along in all these years, I think that he's number 1.
He's been non-committal about his future. Do you think we ever see him fight again?
I don't want to see him fight no more.
Oh, really?
In my opinion.
Really?
Nah, I don't. I think that it's just a lot. It's a lot. Like,
Hamzah Sheeraz admitted he was completely wrong about Canelo Alvarez, and in doing so, he not only revealed his change of heart, but also opened up about what he believes lies ahead for Canelo while paying his deepest respect to Terence Crawford. His candid admission came as a surprise to many since he had earlier rooted for Canelo, but after watching what unfolded in the ring, his perspective shifted completely. He acknowledged that he had underestimated Crawford's dominance and was taken aback by the way Canelo was dismantled in front of the world.
Oh man, I was wrong, man. My prediction was so off, bro. Yeah. I'm known for my predictions to be so shit, bro. Yeah,
kind of like David Hay.
Yeah, my predictions are so off. But massive props to Crawford. Domination. And that's what it was, wasn't it? It was domination. And he looked comfortable at 168 pounds. Yeah, man. He cemented himself as one of the GOATs in boxing yet last night.
For Sheeraz, it was not just another fight. He had always seen Canelo as his favorite fighter, someone who represented greatness and power inside the ring. To then watch Canelo, a boxer with such a massive legacy, being handled with such ease was shocking. Sheeraz admitted that no one in history had ever made Canelo look so vulnerable, and that realization forced him to reevaluate everything he thought he knew about the matchup. It was more than just a fight ending, it was the rewriting of boxing expectations.
But massive props to Crawford. Domination. And that's what it was, wasn't it? It was domination. And he looked comfortable at 168 pounds. Yeah, man, he cemented himself as one of the GOATs in boxing yet last night.
What surprised you the most by Crawford, would you say?
You know what surprised me the most? Him holding his feet and still dominating. Being strong enough to exchange in the clinches. And manhandling Canelo a bit, man, turning him around like it was nothing. Yeah, that surprised me a lot.
Do you think there's a future for Canelo after this?
Yeah, there is.
Even though Sheeraz confessed he was wrong, he made it clear that this single loss does not erase Canelo's place in boxing. When asked about the Mexican superstar's future, he said that Canelo would remain one of the biggest names in the sport regardless of what happened that night. Sheeraz pointed out that Canelo still has major contracts and commitments, and those pursuits will keep him active at the top level. He believed that even after a defeat of this magnitude, Canelo's name would continue to draw crowds, proving that his career is far from over.
He's a superstar, isn't he? He's a superstar. And obviously he's still got, from my knowledge anyway, he's got still 2 more fights contracted with His Excellency. And it'd be a fool to do anything else because I think he's guaranteed like 100 million a fight, isn't he? So,
yeah, of course.
No one in their right mind would let that go.
Yeah. And the next question, like, where do you think this lies for yourself? You know, because I think many people thought Baron Canelo won yesterday, he'd be facing yourself in February.
Yeah.
From your knowledge now, if there has been any conversation, where do you think it lies for yourself now in your future?
I could still fight Canelo. I still could fight him. I don't know if he'd fight as soon as February though. Not that it's that soon, but
While Sheeraz was adjusting his stance, other voices in the boxing world were adding their own perspectives. Shakur Stevenson, a longtime friend of Terence Crawford, came forward with high praise. Having observed Crawford closely over the years, Stevenson described him as one of the greatest fighters ever, a true candidate for being called the greatest of all time. What struck Stevenson most was how every doubt about Crawford was erased on fight night. People had questioned his ability to deal with someone like Canelo, but those doubts no longer held weight after what unfolded in the ring.
Honestly, I felt like I knew what he was capable of. I knew how good he is. And he came and showed everybody why he's one of the best fighters of all time.
What is it like to see a guy that you obviously are very close to, who's meant so much to you, big bro, little bro, all that stuff, do that on that kind of stage? Like, as you're watching this unfold, what is that like for you?
It's very inspirational. You know, I've been around him since I was a kid, and I got to actually like see how competitive he is, see how disciplined, how focused he was, and it didn't do nothing but make me better as a person. So honestly, without him, I don't even know if I would be as good as I am today. So I gotta pay homage to him as a fighter and as a person. But
Stevenson even talked about a bold comparison that further fueled debate. He highlighted that Canelo himself, right after the fight, admitted that Crawford was better than Floyd Mayweather. To hear Canelo, a man who once shared the ring with Mayweather, make such a statement was staggering. Stevenson leaned on that remark to emphasize just how special Crawford's performance was. To him, Crawford not only silenced critics, but also pushed himself into conversations that previously only included legends.
Canelo said he's better than Floyd Mayweather, and obviously you're friends with him, but what did you think of that statement, and do you agree with it?
I mean, I don't know. I think they both great fighters. I think that I see what I see what Canelo is saying. I think he's probably mesmerized by how strong Bud Crawford was that night. I think he realized that if he made one mistake, he could have got hurt in that fight too. But honestly, it's a hard thing to say with both guys, because both guys are brilliant. Both guys are great fighters. So I wouldn't say it, but I definitely would say both of them are legends, and I appreciate both of them.
The debate right now is who's number one pound for pound.
Adding another voice to the discussion, former Crawford opponent Israel Madrimov weighed in with his perspective. Madrimov expressed that he was not entirely surprised by what he witnessed. What impressed him most was Crawford's preparation. He saw how Crawford had bulked up in the right way, entering the fight with a game plan that was executed to perfection. For Madrimov, this was not only a victory, but a piece of boxing history that would be remembered for generations.
To move the way he used to, I believe that Crawford has a good chances of outboxing and outpointing and win on the points, which happened. And I wasn't surprised, because I expect something like that. And I like the game plan. I like what Crawford did. I like how he did it. I like that he adjusted really well, and Crawford once again proved that he is who he is, the best pound for pound fighter and the GOAT right now.
Haven Brady also contributed to the ongoing conversation. His reaction focused on Crawford's sheer dominance and how completely he outclassed Canelo.
Great performance. He ain't surprised me at all, for real. He did what I expected to do, and that's how I thought the fight was gonna end it. Definitely the cards was crazy, but he stuck to the game plan, used his feet, used his IQ, and that southpaw that right there, I think that confused him. Like, you know, that southpaw and using his feet and using his mind, using his feet and using his IQ. So with that and using his speed, putting the combination together later in the round, so it was a great performance. What can you say about it now?
However, Brady added his own twist by saying he believed there might be one fighter out there who could possibly defeat Crawford. While he did not go into details about who that fighter might be, his comment kept the door open for speculation. Fans began wondering who he might be hinting at and whether the sport had already seen the man capable of solving the Crawford puzzle.
Fifth division, 3 divisions undisputed. Like, where do you go from here?
Like everybody say, I don't think nobody can beat him but Boots. So I want to see him fight Jerron Ennis, and hopefully, you know, he don't retire before then, or he say he too washed up and old. Hopefully he get my boy a shot. That's the only person I can see beat him, or that's what I think can beat him. So other than that, the only thing I do want to see him do is I feel like he was a little later with getting the top dollars like everybody else. So take a couple fights and, you know, get your money worth now. I feel like he worth it. He, you know, he deserved it. He did his time. And, you know, those are the only two things I want to see. I feel like other than that, it ain't nothing left for him to do.
Not everyone, though, was ready to declare Crawford the unquestioned winner without hesitation. Justin Palmieri stood out for delivering a controversial take on the fight. In his eyes, the bout was not as one-sided as many described. He claimed the fight should have been scored as a draw, a statement that sparked heated discussions among fans and analysts alike. Palmieri backed his stance with reasoning, pointing to moments in the fight where he believed Canelo held his ground and did enough to keep the score even. His opinion, though rare, added a contrasting layer to the broader conversation.
He's up there, Mount Rushmore at the very least. Personally, I scored the fight a draw. I'm probably gonna get a lot of heat for that. I am a Canelo fanboy. I am biased. I will admit it.
You scored the fight a draw, Josh?
I was texting my brother round by round the scores. I had it 6-6. Canelo took it away. Canelo just slowed down way too much the second half of the fight. But again, I'm biased. So I will admit that. Now it's a performance of a lifetime, for sure. Performance of a lifetime. Just like
as all these perspectives came together, the fight became more than just a single event. It turned into a discussion about legacy, greatness, and the unpredictability of boxing. For Sheeraz, the fight was a humbling reminder that predictions could crumble when faced with reality. He had entered the discussion firmly behind Canelo, but was honest enough to admit he had been proven wrong. His tribute to Crawford showed not only respect for the winner, but also a willingness to acknowledge when someone exceeds expectations.
Do you think Crawford will fight you, if you're being honest?
I don't see him going down because there's no big fights for him in the lower division at 160. So I can rule that out. Even in 154, you could rule that out. I think I'd be one of the bigger fights for him. One of the bigger fights. And yes, it all just makes sense for him. He's the king of the sport at the minute.
Would you blame him if he retired, though? If he decided to call it a day?
No, I won't blame him. I won't blame him at all. Yeah. But I feel like now he's in a position where I suppose it comes down to how content you are as an individual. But if you really wanted to capitalize from a business perspective, this is when you put the pedal to the metal.
For Stevenson, the fight was a validation of what he already believed, that Crawford belonged in the highest tier of boxing legends. His comparison to Mayweather, fueled by Canelo's own words, gave fans new debates to engage in. Was Crawford truly better than Mayweather, or was it a statement made in the heat of the moment? These questions extended the conversation far beyond the ring.
As long as he's been on top, is way before the Usyks and the Inoue's came around. I think he was on top when it was Canelo's and then Andre Ward's and Lomachenko's. So during that time, he was in that era, and they still was debating was he number one. And now he's in a whole different era with Usyk and Inoue, where they still debating whether Bud Crawford is number one. So for him to be this far along in all these years, I think that he's number one.
He's been non-committal about his future. Do you think we ever see him fight again?
I don't want to see him fight no more.
Oh, really?
In my opinion.
Really?
Nah, I don't. I think that it's just a lot. It's a lot. Like
Madrimov's take added another layer, focusing on the technical and tactical brilliance that made Crawford's performance historic. He reminded everyone that what they had seen was not luck, but preparation meeting opportunity. Brady's comment, on the other hand, teased fans with the idea that even the greatest could be challenged, leaving people to speculate on who might stand a chance against Crawford.
Was it something specific, the movement or his speed or power, or what? Was there something you could put your finger on that gave you the most trouble?
Everything. Okay. He have everything.
Then came Palmieri's dissent, which ensured the discussion was not one-sided. His opinion that the fight was a draw gave voice to the minority, ensuring that the outcome would continue to be debated for years. Whether people agreed or not, his boldness in going against the popular narrative kept the conversation alive.
It could be a situation where it ends up being a draw. I know people hate draws.
Yeah. What other fight can they stretch out?
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Because Al Bernstein did say sometimes you get 3 blind mice at the table.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm
Let's
saying?
hope not.
And he did say sometimes they do give Canelo the nod.
Yeah. Taken together, these reactions show how one fight can ripple across the boxing world, affecting not just fans but fighters and analysts alike. Crawford's victory over Canelo was not just a win, it was a seismic shift that forced people to reassess their beliefs, challenge their assumptions, and engage in heated debates about the direction of the sport.
Who called it?
You said fight him, and you've seen the result.
Exactly. And you guys knew what was going to happen. You were in denial. That shit looked easier than Earl Spence. Did it look, huh?
It's a brilliant performance. Brilliant
performance, man. Shout out to Team Crawford, Bo Mack, and that whole team, man. You know what I mean?
Where'd you rank him all-time list after that?
I mean, put his face on Mount Rushmore. You know what I'm saying? He deserves his place.
What made it even more powerful was the range of emotions it sparked. There was humility from Sheeraz, pride from Stevenson, validation from Madrimov, cautious speculation from Brady, and controversy from Palmieri. Each reaction added to the overall narrative, shaping the way the fight would be remembered in history.
Well, them is his titles. It's all respect. Like I told everybody for a long time. I'm like, man, me and Canelo, I got a ton of respect for Canelo. I'm a fan of Canelo. I've always been a fan of Canelo. And, I wanted to be the one to give him back his belts. I didn't want my team to hand him back his belts. I wanted to be the one to give him back his belts.
Crawford's dominance was undeniable, but the broader story was not just about his victory. It was about how people responded, how reputations shifted, and how legacies were debated. Canelo, despite his loss, remained a towering figure whose future was still secure, with contracts and commitments that would keep him in the spotlight. Crawford, meanwhile, elevated himself to a new level, proving that even against one of the sport's greatest, he could emerge not just victorious, but dominant.
I've never seen Canelo starting to kind of lose focus in the fight. He wanted to touch gloves. It was almost like he wasn't locked in. We never really see that from him, because when you in the you in the Terrence Crawford was in the I'll shake your hands after I'm done. That mean-spirited Canelo wasn't there.
It's not even his age, Kamaru. It's the fact that he's been pro since he was 15 years old. Canelo has been fighting professional for 20 years, bro. His love of golf. I mean, De La Hoya brought up a bunch of points. Sometimes people hate, but sometimes they know a little bit more than we do.
And so, what began as a simple fight prediction gone wrong for Hamzah Sheeraz turned into a global conversation about greatness, respect, and the unpredictable nature of boxing. From tributes to debates, from admiration to controversy, the ripple effects of that night will continue to shape the sport's narrative for years to come.
Teofimo, what did you think of the fight tonight?
What I think about the fight tonight, I said that Crawford would win, and I stuck to my guns. He did his part. He boxed him very well, but it was a combination. The amount of punches, whether they counted it or not, it was showing that he was the aggressor tonight.
Did you have him winning the whole time?
I would say, yeah, 9-3, 10-2. Almost a shutout.
And tell us what just happened in there. That was crazy. I turned around and you were standing there.
No, yeah, absolutely. Just trying to get the chance of attention. Just to ask him one simple question. It was like, did taking that 10 to 16 months or spending time with family and so on and so forth, did that make a big difference for major fights like this?
The dust may have settled inside the ring, but the debates outside it are only getting louder. With voices divided, legacies questioned, and futures hanging in the balance, the story is far from over. Stay locked in with Ring Rivalry for every twist, every hot take, and every fight that keeps boxing's fire alive.